Hey warriors, welcome back to the channel. Power doesn't begin with money, fame, or social status. It begins in the mind. Look around you. The world worships empty crowns, designer suits, luxury cars, online followers. But beneath the surface, most people are mentally fragile. One insult breaks them. One failure destroys their confidence. One rejection makes them question their worth. They've built empires on sand because they've ignored the foundation of all power, the mind. Machiavelli understood this truth centuries ago. He said that the one who cannot control his own mind will forever be controlled by others. That's why the real battlefield of life isn't fought in boardrooms or on the streets. It's fought inside your head. And those who win that battle, those who conquer their emotions, silence their doubts and master their thoughts, they rule without a crown. Today, you're going to learn 10 dark lessons that will make you mentally dangerous. These are not feel-good lessons. They're not about comfort or peace or positivity. They're about control, dominance, and unshakable mental strength. The kind of mindset that makes you impossible to manipulate, impossible to read, and impossible to break. Because the truth is, in this world, people are either predators or prey. The strong control the weak, the disciplined control the impulsive, and the calm control the chaotic. But here's what they never tell you. True control doesn't come from the outside. It's born within. You can't command others if you haven't mastered yourself. You can't influence the world if you're still a slave to your emotions. And you can't rise above the crowd if you think like the crowd. That's why mental power is the ultimate weapon. It's silent, invisible, and deadly. This video will challenge you. It will force you to face your weaknesses, your fears, and your illusions. But if you stay until the end, you'll walk away sharper, calmer, and far more dangerous than before. Because once you master your mind, no one can touch you. Number 1. Mental power over external power. The world glorifies symbols of success, money, fame, status, possessions. But these things only reflect the surface of power. The truth is, they're fragile illusions. A man can have millions, but if he loses his composure in chaos, he's powerless. Another can own nothing, yet remain calm, strategic, and in control. That man holds true power. Machiavelli understood that external control means nothing without internal command. He once said that fortune controls half of life, but the other half belongs to the strength of our mind. A powerful mind can twist fate itself, turning failure into opportunity and pain into discipline. A weak one collapses under the same weight. The difference isn't in the situation, it's in perception. When you train your mind to dominate thought and emotion, circumstances no longer dictate your path. You stop reacting, you start directing. Real power begins when you no longer depend on outside validation to define your worth. When you can remain calm while others panic, confident while others doubt, focused while others crumble, that's when you become dangerous. Machiavelli would tell you, rule yourself first, because every empire begins within. Mental power shapes how you think, feel, and act under pressure. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being unshakable. When your thoughts obey you, when fear becomes a signal rather than a chain, when pain becomes fuel instead of defeat, you ascend to a level most people can't reach. You see through illusions. You act with precision. You stop being controlled by outcomes because you realize that control lies only in your response. The strong mind bends the world to its will. The weak mind bends under its weight. Build discipline, not dependence. Build clarity, not chaos. When you stop being ruled by comfort, you start being ruled by purpose. When your mind becomes your fortress, no one can breach it. Not insults, not failure, not loss. Power doesn't shout, it commands silently. The mind that cannot be moved is the mind that moves the world. Machiavelli once said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." Remember that before you seek to rule others. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I control my world through my mind. Number 2. Emotional detachment. Emotions are powerful forces, but when they control you, they destroy your clarity, discipline, and strategy. The greatest weakness of most people is not ignorance, it's emotional impulsiveness. They react instantly to anger, envy, or fear, exposing their intentions before they even understand the game. Machiavelli once said that men are driven by either love or fear, and the wise ruler uses both without being consumed by either. Detachment is not about being heartless, it's about being in command. When you are detached, you feel deeply but act deliberately. You don't let anger make decisions for you. You don't allow disappointment to paralyze you. You learn to observe emotions as they arise, then decide how to use them. A detached mind is sharp because it is never clouded. It sees clearly when others drown in chaos. The one who can remain composed while everyone else breaks becomes the one who controls outcomes. Machiavelli knew that rulers who showed too much emotion invited manipulation. When people know what provokes you, they will use it against you. But when they can't read you, when your calm masks both your strength and your strategy, they become uncertain, cautious, and powerless. Emotional detachment gives you psychological dominance. It keeps your enemy guessing and your allies respecting. It turns pain into information, rejection into data, and betrayal into insight. Every emotional storm becomes fuel for greater understanding. You stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What does this teach me?" That shift is power. It transforms suffering into evolution. To detach is to protect your inner kingdom from invasion. When the mind becomes still, the body follows, and the soul regains balance. You begin to move like a chess master, unpredictable, patient, unprovoked. No reaction, only response. No chaos, only calculation. Machiavelli once said, "He who controls his passions controls his destiny." This control doesn't make you cold, it makes you precise. When emotions obey reason, your decisions become unbreakable. The world will try to pull you into its noise, insults, drama, temptation, but detachment keeps your focus pure. The one who feels everything but reveals nothing is untouchable. You become like a mirror, reflecting everything, absorbing nothing. That is the essence of mental dominance. True strength is calmness under fire, silence under pressure, and poise under attack. Remember this: the calm mind always wins. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I feel everything. Reveal nothing. Number 3. Breaking the chains of approval. The hunger for validation is the invisible chain that keeps powerful minds enslaved. Most people live their entire lives chasing acceptance from family, friends, society, even strangers online. They measure their worth by opinions, likes, and applause. But every time you seek approval, you hand over control of your emotions. Machiavelli once said that men who depend on others for honor will never have true authority. Because when your self-image relies on external validation, you become predictable, desperate, and easy to manipulate. The approval seeker bends their character to fit expectations. The powerful one shapes expectations around his character. To become mentally dangerous, you must break free from the addiction of being liked. Understand this: approval is a form of control. People praise you when you serve their interests, and they reject you when you serve your own. When you no longer need their validation, you become immune to their manipulation. You stop living to please and start living to command. Machiavelli believed respect is not granted through begging or charm. It is enforced through strength, certainty, and consistency. You don't ask for respect. You project it through your actions, tone, and presence. Approval fades quickly, but power leaves a lasting mark. The weak chase acceptance. The strong create influence. When you act according to principle instead of popularity, your decisions start shaping your destiny instead of being shaped by fear of judgment. Every great ruler was criticized before they were praised. Every innovator was mocked before they were admired. And every mentally powerful person was misunderstood before they were respected. Detach from the need to be seen as good. Focus instead on being effective. The world respects results, not feelings. The man who no longer craves applause gains a mind that no insult can penetrate. When your self-worth becomes internal, your actions become unstoppable. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." This doesn't mean cruelty, it means strength of identity. Fear in this context means respect rooted in certainty. Love fades, but respect remains. Approval seeking is the behavior of those who doubt themselves. Confidence is the expression of those who know who they are. When you stop asking permission to be great, you start embodying greatness. Silence the crowd in